Good evening, goddesses. Happy Monday evening. So, welcome to the end of our workshop together. It's been wonderful having all of you here in the workshop. I'm so glad that you all decided to go on this little journey of the Divine Feminine with me. Please don't feel like this has to be the end of your time working with the Divine Feminine. You can take the knowledge and the practices and the meditations that we've worked with in this workshop and continue to work with them and make them your own. You can work with them over time and you can come back to them at any given time. They're always there. You can call upon each goddess energy at any given moment you like. So as we said at the beginning, we're constantly riding these waves in our lives. And these waves may come in different forms, and whether we realize it or not, we're really avid surfers. We're constantly surfing these waves of desire and fulfillment. And so, whether that's something as simple as, like, I really have this desire right now to make some quiche. I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to doing that, but I really want to. It's one of my favorite things to make. And so that desire is there right now. Once I decide to do it, then I'm going to pull out my ingredients list and go to the store and get all my stuff and make sure I've got all the things I need here at the house to make the quiche happen. And then I will put it all together and throw it in the oven and cook them. And then eventually they will come out and then they'll be good and they'll be ready and I will get to eat them. And so I've moved to this wave of I want to make quiche. Here's how I make it. Here's the quiche. I'm eating it. Ta-da, right? So that's a silly example, but this is what we're constantly doing. And so, getting away from the quiche example, maybe, your desire is that you want a new partner. You want a partner, right? And so you're thinking about that, trying to figure out how to make that happen. But maybe someone else is on a different part of that relationship wave, and they're in the fulfillment of that desire, and they're trying to stay there on the peak of that and maintain that love and passion with their partner. And, maybe in work or your job, you've got a project, maybe you're starting it, maybe you're figuring out how to make it happen, maybe it is happening, all those different places to be along the wave. Maybe you're also riding a wave of creativity and you're getting ready to write a book or in the middle of making a painting, or, you're sewing a quilt that you planned and you're almost done. Right? So all these different waves are happening at any given moment in our life. Now, one thing I want to mention tonight here at the end is that as we ride these waves, getting clear on our desires with Kali in the trough, figuring out how to make things happen as we build up with Saraswati, the fulfillment of the desires, the full offering, dancing with Lakshmi, there is an important thing to realize, and it comes to the full analogy of surfers. If you watch a surfer riding a wave, he's got to, gracefully get off the wave. Otherwise, he can really crash and completely wreck himself, right? So if you've ever seen big wave surfers crash off of a wave, it's really, really gnarly, right? And so after you're in that energy of Lakshmi and the desires come to be fulfilled, there has to be a return of calling in the Saraswati energy. So you don't just go from Lakshmi crashing down to Kali, right? You've got to have, how do I get down off this wave? When is it time to be done with the peak of this wave? And so if you've ever, stayed in a job too long, a job that was wrong or a position that was wrong, or if you've ever, it's really uncomfortable and awful, but if you've ever stayed in a relationship too long, past the point where either of you was happy, that it can be really gnarly getting off of the peak of a wave. And so we have to recognize when it's time to call that Saraswati energy back in, the logic, the reason, the figuring things out. How do we get done with this without hurting anyone else along the way, without hurting ourselves, and then getting able to come back down into that trough and say, what's my next desire? What do I want to do next? And so this is a lot of what yoga is all about. People think that yoga is about, making physical shapes with our bodies. But really, yoga is about smoothly riding these waves from where we are to where we want to be. These desires coming up, and we get to them smoothly. This is really what yoga is all about. So, if we go back to my quiche example, if I don't call Saraswati back in, then I leave the dishes dirty, I forget to put the quiche in the refrigerator, and then I get up the next day and I'm really upset because the kitchen is a mess and I've ruined my quiche and I have no leftovers, right? So we can break it down into these silly examples, but really this is going on with so much in our lives all the time. Big things, little things, everything. So if you all enjoyed this, which I think you did, and I hope you did, and you want to get deeper into all this kind of information, I highly recommend getting one of my favorite books, probably my favorite nonfiction book ever, I think, maybe. That's a big thing to say, but I think so. It's a book called Awakening Shakti, and it is by my meditation teacher, Sally Kempton. And Awakening Shakti will let you go way deeper into the descriptions of these goddesses. It'll talk more about where you see these goddess energies in the world. And there's more meditations to do if you love working with this, if you enjoyed all this. Sally Kempton is amazing. I'm happy to post links and tell you all more about her if you like. And in the book, you will see, and I will tell you now, that these three goddesses are not the whole of the Divine Feminine. There are so many aspects to the Divine Feminine. There's so many different kinds of energies that are working in our lives at any given moment. And in the book, and you can look them up as well, there's so many different goddesses. There's even more than are in the book. So, in fact, right now, I'm in the middle of taking a workshop with Sally on a single goddess whose name is Lalita Tripura Sundari. And she's a really interesting goddess to work with. And I had said to my partner a few months ago how I didn't know much about her and I wish I knew more. And I actually had gone onto Sally's website to sign up for something else. And she had fit in this little 3-week-long workshop about Lalita. And I thought, oh my goodness, I manifested this because I wanted to learn about it. So I'm really excited to be in the middle of that workshop. So, yeah. Also, if you want to keep discussing and keep thinking about these things, I will be leaving the group open, the Facebook group, if you're in the Facebook group. So you can discuss with each other. You can ask questions of me. If you have questions that you want to talk to me about that you don't want the group for, you can message me, email me, you can even call me. I think almost all of you guys have my phone number. So always happy to keep discussing and keep getting more into this stuff. So gonna let you guys go for now. I hope that this workshop was enjoyable, getting into the Divine Feminine, and I hope that it made you feel at least a little more empowered in your life, and I hope you can continue to draw on this information to continue to empower you in your life and feel like you understand a little more why you feel one way sometimes and why certain things are going on, and you can kind of think of where am I in this wave of this particular thing in my life, and then use that knowledge to draw on these energies and feel more powerful and feel more in control about what's going on in your life. So for now, this will conclude this workshop. Coming up over the holidays, I haven't decided the exact start date yet, but I will let you guys know. I have a new workshop that's going to be happening called De-Stress to Manifest Your Best New Year Yet. I think it's going to be fun. It's about the last 3 limbs of yoga, and it's going to be a meditation and philosophy only workshop, so no physical practice this time. Which brings me to my other thing I want to tell you guys, but first, I hope you will join me for that workshop and let me know if you want information and if you want to sign up and all of that. You guys all know how to do that with me, but let me know for sure so I can make sure nobody gets left out. In that regard, coming up probably tomorrow, I'm going to have an exit survey for this workshop for you guys. I think you all know this was my first online workshop that I've done. And so I had you guys fill out the questionnaire on the way in. I would love for you to fill out a few more questions on the way out, just to help me out with how it went and what you think and anything you could be improved. But there'll be specific questions for you guys to go through. All right, I love all of you. I'm so happy that you got to be here with me. You're all wonderful, and we will be in touch very soon, I'm sure. But for now, for tonight, we'll say aloha and namaste.